Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to discuss the fire signs, but before we do that, we're also going to cover a few other points having to do with the Myers-Briggs, for instance, extrovert and introvert. So stay tuned with Names of Our Universe. Thank you. Everybody, I gotta say, this is a work in progress. Be patient with me. I'm just learning how to do this. I have a lot of information to share, but sometimes I forget some things. The main things I need to go over, first and foremost, extrovert and introvert. Now, I'm gonna be talking about extremes of all these things so people get the idea. I'm gonna do the same thing with astrological signs. Okay, so we'll go into more the nitty-gritty later. Before I get into the fire signs, we need to discuss these things. Extrovert, introvert. Let's go right into it. The extreme extrovert. This is what we think of with the extreme Leo. I'm not talking about what sign you're born under. Remember, this has to do with personality and like the 12 archetypes. That's how we're treating these astrological signs, like archetypes, not like I'm born Leo, so I'm this way. No, that's why people don't believe in astrology. We're gonna make you believers based on the personality you are. Okay, later we'll go into all that whole chart stuff. Right now, we're talking about extrovert, introvert. Leo, extrovert, sun's on me, all eyes on me. Okay, basically, you want to be center of attention. Okay, we know people like that. Okay, introvert, this is a proverbial Scorpio. Okay, you may not see it coming, but if you done pissed them off, you'll eventually know. Okay, you don't want to piss off a true Scorpio, because they love and they hate with that equal intensity. We talked about this. This is the introvert, okay? They have that thing hidden. You just don't know when it's coming for you. I think, unfortunately, a lot of us have had some sort of experience like this that we wished we didn't, okay? You don't want to cross that kind of person, okay? This is the extreme example of extrovert, introvert. Most of us are ambiverted, kind of Libra-like. We get those balanced scales. We can be with others, we want peace, we're a blend, okay? But we're going right now to discuss the things that I needed to discuss before. Let's move into intuitive or sensate. So intuitive, pie in the sky ideas people, okay? These are your sad, shoot for the stars. Nothing's gonna hold me down. I could be a horse's ass, yeah? That's the sensate part. But I'm shooting for the stars. I'm going place. I got that vision, okay? Pisces dreamer. This is the epitome of the dreamer head in the clouds, okay? This is not your down-to-earth, I'm gonna get my bills set up. We all know Pisces that are down-to-earth. Again, don't get mixed up. I know a lot of you are like, no, that's not a Pisces. No, I'm talking about your true astrological sign, okay? Intuitives, this is gonna be, an intuitive thinker would be like an Aquarius. An intuitive feeler, a Pisces. An intuitive in general, that's Sagittarius, okay? These are your real intuitive types. Sensate, earth, all earth. I mean, feet planted on the ground, it's just obvious. That's what we're talking about. Taurus, the earth sign, they don't want to change, okay? They want to keep doing the same you can count on them. Tortoise and the hare, which one are they? Well, we know the hare is the Gemini, okay? They're going all directions, okay? But we know the tortoise is going to stick to the same plan. They're sensual, they're earthy, but they want those creature comforts, and they will go along the same plodding existence without needing that change, which intuition is all about. Sensate, not so much. Virgo, they're also very sensate driven. Just the facts, let's have things in order. This is the organizer. This is the perfectionist that could be fastidious. Okay, that's Virgo at the extreme, okay? That's Earth, sensate. Also Capricorn. I mean, we're climbing the ladder of success. We're in the 3D world and we want to be on top of that triangle, okay? This is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the pinnacle, holding you in, it's reining you in, it's quarantining you, okay? This is Saturn. It's the ruler, it's the governor, it's the government. This is Saturn, okay? How much more sensate can you get? Things got to be done by the book. They got to be done by the plan. And if you don't fall in line, well, you cut off, okay? This is sensate. Again, sorry Capricorns out there that don't fit this, but Capricorn's climbing the ladder if you're true to type Capricorn, all right? I have a Capricorn ascendant. I don't identify with Capricorn or Earth at all, but people that don't know me, I come off very rigid or at least responsible. That's why I get the job sometimes, or with the interviews, or I do what people, oh, he's very responsible, respectful. I'm not saying I'm not, okay? Those who know me, I don't know, it's a mixed bag. But anyway, that's the appearance. That's Capricorn. Again, there's so much to delve into. Ascendant, that's the rising, that's how you look. Sun sign, that's your main motivating energy. Moon sign, that's the inner you. There's so much to astrology, okay? But we're just skimming the surface, but you need to know these things. Let's move on to thinker and feeler, okay? Thinkers, who are the thinkers? Aquarius, okay? They say they have ice in their veins, all right? These are not your starry-eyed romantics. They're innovators. They might be helpers of humankind, but it's more critical, okay? It's not about the touchy-feely fuzzy stuff, okay? We're getting to the point, these are the robotics. You know, these are going into the future with or without you, okay? But they would rather have us all together. That's the Aquarian age, but it's not based on the romance or the feels, okay? That's Pisces. That's Pisces area. This is the thinker. Who else is a thinker? Aries. My God, they'll bowl you over. You get out of their way, okay? They're not concerned about being liked. They will run you down, though. This is the warrior, okay? We don't have time to feel anything. You know, we don't have time to be vulnerable. I'm not saying for you Aries out there that say, screw that, I'm a passionate, loving. Okay, I'm not talking about that. Thinker and feeler is different. What we mean by thinker and feeler, not that thinkers don't feel or feelers don't think. Thinkers make decisions based on critical analysis, pros and cons. It's not the people's feelings involved. It's not how do you feel about it. Okay, this is just black and white, business-like when necessary. The feeler, they might argue with you. They could be passionate. They could be all those things. They could disagree. But feeler, at the end of the day, they somehow want that conciliatory, that harmony. Okay, there's something in them that urges to take care of your feelings. They feel bad. They feel guilty. You know, they could be manipulative. What are the feelers? These are water signs, people. This is water. Okay, Cancer, big-time feeler nurturer. Mother, Saturn, father. You know, this is the principle here. Ruled by the moon. That's the nurturer. That's Cancer. Okay, feelers. We got Cancer, Pisces, of course. Libra is also a feeler. This is the general principle of extroverted feeling. Okay, this is, hey, we need to get married. It's expected. Society's mores are extroverted feeling. The introverted feeling has to do with what are my ideas? What are my values within? Not what anyone says societal-wise. That's the artist, okay? They make up their own mind. The introverted feeling, that's much more Scorpio, okay? They have their own value system. Do not cross that line with them because you thought that was a placid Scorpio and then you found out when you crossed that line for them, you breached something. Not so with the extroverted feeling Libra, okay? All right, I'm preaching again. Anyway, let's get back. So this is the thinker-feeler aspect. We got Aries thinker, Capricorn definitely thinker, Virgo thinker. Capricorn comes off as the stodgy old man, all right? You know what? Get your crap together. Pull yourself up by the bootstrap. Who am I thinking? First thing that comes to mind is Red, that 70s show. You know, get your head out of your ass. That's Capricorn, people. Like, you know what? Hey, stop being a dreamer over there. Get your crap together. Literally. You know what? Capricorn. You gotta love them sometimes, but we usually don't. Anyway, Virgo. This is thinker too. I mean, this is criteria. You're towing the line. You're OCD, man. Okay, this is the extreme Virgo, okay? Virgo essentially, I mean, I've known Virgos that are true to type. You know what their pastime is? Doing chores. They love it. I mean, shoot me now. But this is Virgo. I want a clean house. If you can't do it, I'm going to, all right? I'm going to do everything I need to. I'm going to nitpick the hell out of you, and I'm going to make an art of it, okay? That's Virgo. Get your health right. You know, get your bills in order. This is the day-to-day stuff, man. This is mundane reality. Why don't you got it together, Pisces? It's opposite, okay? This sensate and intuitive opposite, polar opposite. Here's another polar opposite for you. Scorpio and Taurus. Scorpio represents spirit, okay? But it could be an evil spirit, okay? We got demons on one hand, you know, and we have the delving into the depth and finding out the truth, okay? What do we have for sensate? We have Taurus, the most planted in the earth, okay? I think you're getting the picture. Last, but not least, maybe least, judging, perceiving. Judging type, structure, organization, plan it out. I think we made it clear, Capricorn, Virgo. Okay, perceiving, spontaneous, go with the flow. This is your Gemini. Where are they going to go next? We're changing all the time. We got different things to do. I got two different selves. This is very much Gemini. Also Pisces, two fish going in opposite directions. Quite a bit of time represents Sagittarius too, because that's a wild ass. That's running wild. That's shooting at all stars. Hey, let's rein it in, my friend, so we can actually accomplish those goals. Got to be a balance there. These are the perceiving types. Sag, Gemini, definitely, and quite a bit of Pisces as well. These are what you think with the proverbial perceiving types. Anyway, my friends, I took a little bit of time there, but you get the idea. Let's move on to some fire signs quickly. Okay, fire. I totally relate with fire and water. I think I said before I'm a cusp. I know I said Pisces and Leo as I went back there. That's not a cusp, of course, of each other. Cancer, Leo, of course, is the cusp. I exhibit both traits. Basically, I'm 0 degrees Leo. I might have mentioned that before. So that's like a baby Leo. I think of it like a baby snake. It's got a lot of poison when it bites you. The Leo is very intense once you give that chance when it's in that 0 degrees, but it's also learning in this lifetime and in this incarnation or whatever you want to call it. As other astrologer friends have told me, I'm a seasoned Cancer, so that comes naturally, the nurturing. Anyway, we're talking about fire here, and it's been a goddamn hot day, so let's get to it. I'm already sweating. Leo. Leo exhibits extroverted energy, as I mentioned. Okay, we're going to go over, as I did with ISTJ exhibiting earth, INFP exhibiting water. Again, my friends, there's 16 types, so each of those 16 types are going to exhibit 2 or 3 of the elements, but we're talking about the proverbial one, okay? Let's go forth with fire. I mentioned before SP being fire. I mentioned the 4 main temperaments, okay? I mentioned NF representing water. I represent NT representing air. SJ, that's the earthy sign, the sensate judging structure. That's the establishment. And I mentioned SP being fire. Now that's the most misleading one. Okay, SP's got to be something, right? Actually, it's a conglomeration of all 4 of them. But when I talk about SP being fire, I'm talking about the extroverted sensate perceiving types. I'm talking about ESFP, which can also be some air, and I'll get into that later because fire is very dynamic and it doesn't just fit one type. ESTP also fits fire, but if we really want to get with it, fire represents extroversion and intuition mostly, vision and ideas. Okay, we didn't have the breakdown for that before. ESTP and ESFP, they have aspects of Leo, and the ESTP, I'm going to go through that real quickly. Let's go with type 3, okay? ESTPs, I don't really have types 1 or 2. As I mentioned, each of the 16 temperaments, which is the type we're born with, are prone to being 3 or 4 of 9 behaviors. That's the nature-nurture correlation. Okay, so 1 and 2. I have about 160 ESTPs out of the 3,500, not very popular. I mean, they're popular people, but not very common on my tests. Okay, no type 1. ESTP is not a perfectionist. Perfectionist fits J. Type 2, I have some anomalies. I have like 2 anomalies, okay? So I would just say that fits Leo because Leo is of the heart. 2 is of the heart. That's a generous self. Type 3, the achiever, be all you can be type. Who wants attention? Who's got to be expressing themselves and getting attention and achieving? That's Leo. But it's also Aries. Aries getting ahead, being number 1. I got to be first. That's Aries. It's the first sign. It fits Aries very well too. I'll get into later what other things it fits, but I'm just going to do fire right now. It's not type 4. It's not type 5. I have 2 of them. Type 4 does not fit. 4s are every single one of them except 1 out of 300 are feelers. Not going to find ESTP 4s. ESTP 5, probably 99% of my 5s are introverts. So the fact that I have 2 ESTP 5s, they were kind of borderline in answering on the introvert, but they, at the end of the day, said they're extrovert. I've got to take them for their word. ESTP 5s, also not common. I would say that would actually fit Aquarius because Aquarius has kind of a social aspect to them. So this is like a sociable 5. That would fit. It might also fit Gemini because Geminis are very much in their head, but being extroverted generally, that would fit Gemini because it's talkative, it's loquacious, it's getting things out, it's talking about knowledge, it's skipping around, jumping around. But the 5 likes to focus, so that's you can see how those 2 things would be very difficult in one person. Let's move on to the ESTP type 6. This is much more of a common type for the ESTP. ESTP type 6, there could be counterphobic, okay? We haven't gone into phobic or counterphobic, but 6 most depicts that sense of fight or flight, okay? And a phobic 6, this is like your cowardly lion. This is the one that's skittish and worried and, you know, it's the sky is falling, okay? The counterphobic 6, this is Mike Tyson. Okay, they look like type 8s, like you're not gonna mess with my stuff. But the difference is they're afraid. They're aware of their fear and their vulnerability. They're just gonna fight against it. You're not gonna tell them they're afraid. Screw that, I'm in your face. Come on now. What you got on me, man? What the heck? You looking at me? What? Sorry about my horrible impersonation. Sorry, Mike Tyson, I love you. You know what? This guy, he got his ass beat. I don't know if you guys have listened to him or about his story. I love the guy because he's so raw. He's so real. He's so afraid. He used to throw up before fights. He used to cry before fights when he'd do the Olympics. And he said, I'm battling this. Guy rose above his fear. That's bravery. There's a difference. The 8, this is the Muhammad Ali. This is you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm in denial of my fear. I don't got no fear. He's like, I'm afraid? What are you talking about? Tyson's aware of his fear. And that guy will gonna beat you down because he's afraid. That's the difference, okay? You don't want to tell a counterphobic 6 that they're afraid. They're gonna prove you wrong. This is the ESTP 6 oftentimes. These are daredevils, all right? They're gonna go jumping out of airplanes with they're gonna be riding fast on their motorcycles. I'm not saying all ESTP 6s are this way, but a lot of daredevils tend to be ESTP 6, counterphobic 6. This, Aries. What else can it be? Well, we're talking about fire. Actually, type 6s are not generally fire, but it can be the Aries, the counterphobic. That's the warrior. You know what? Give me something to fight for. That's the 6. I don't mind joining the army. I don't mind the pecking order. That's a 6. The 6 likes to have the safety and security. They like to know what their rules are and what the boundaries are. But you point them in the right direction, they'll go to war for you. Okay? Again, these are generalities to make a point. Type 7. Aries big time, Leo big time, Sag big time. Ding, ding, ding. This is the epitome of a fire sign, ESTP type 7. I want to have fun. I want excitement now. All right? I'm living on the pulse of reality, okay? This is Aries. This is the child. This is the first. It is let's do it now, think about it later, okay? Also, Leo. Leos tend to be very impulsive. A lot of times, especially in their youth. This totally represents a 7. This is living for now. Could be an addictive personality. Fire signs, type ESTP 7. Well, yeah, they both fit. Okay, ESTP 7, also a Sag. Sag, the wild and free. Sag get a bad kind of rap for being promiscuous, not really. I've known Sages that are very high-minded, that are monastic even. But we got to admit, Sag kind of is that cavalier, playboy, kind of type. If you're true to Sag type, you might have struggled with some of that at some point, This is the ESTP 7. This is the most prone, as it said. Sorry if you're an ESTP 7 or a 7 with an 8 wing, especially because this is about my needs being met. This is the id, the 8. They're the most prone to infidelity. Okay, I'm not pointing my finger at anybody. I'm just saying this is kind of sorry if I got anyone in trouble, if you're analyzing personalities out there and your spouse, I'm probably wrong, okay? I'm talking about numbers here, okay? But Sagittarius, ESTP 7, this is a fire sign. The ESTP 7 is a proverbial fire, as is ENTP 7. We'll get into that in a little bit. Quickly. Type 8, ESTP, this is your Aries. This is the epitome of a true chivalrous warrior that will just knock the crap out of you if you get in their way. 8s, I know some really loving 8s. They'll tame the lions. They'll empower others with their energy. They're not about taking advantage of others. Again, we're talking about different levels of health here as well. But ESTP 8 Aries, this is all about strength and power. People feel intimidated by that power sometimes. Even if they're not yelling at you, it might just seem like they're going to because you can sense their authority. So for types that are a little bit more skittish, they might be intimidated or put off if they have their own little insecurities about things. That's ESTP 8, the epitome of Aries. It can fit Leo and Sag to some degree because fire, but this is it. Type 9, I don't have any type 9 ESTPs. Why? Type 9 is keeping things at an even kill. It's talking monotone. It's keeping things relaxed. Basically, not really fiery. Fiery is out there. We're coming to get you. Okay, we're blasting off, all right? This is fire, all right? Essentially, I'm going to quicken this up here. I'm going to go over very, very quickly some more fire. ENTP and ENTJ. I'm going to do it together. Okay. This is very much fire. ENTs. All right. We're talking about, interestingly enough, ESTP and ENTP both tend to be types 3, the achiever, type 6, the loyalist, counterphobic usually, type 7, the enthusiast, and type 8, the challenger. Isn't that interesting? The only thing different, the sensate and intuitive, but they're still ETPs. Outgoing, extroverted, thinking, getting the crap done, getting to the point. P, perceiving, go with the flow. Let's gather more. Let's be spontaneous. Okay, same deal. Same deal as I said for the ESTP, ENTP3 tend to be very much Leo and Aries. Can also be somewhat Sag, because Sag epitomizes the ENTP. Okay, that is shooting for the stars, that is possibilities, that's endless adventure. Okay, let's move on to ENTP 6. Same deal. Can only be, if it's true to type, the epitome as far as fire goes. We'll get into the air more later, which would be Gemini. But ENTP 6 fits Aries 2, the counterphobic, for the same reasons as the ESTP. ENTP 7, same deal, epitomizes fire across the board for the same reasons. It's just instead of I'm going to feel it and experience it right now in the moment, it's I got a vision for the future. I'm an innovative, outside the box thinker. That's the difference with the N versus the S. Okay, not to say the S doesn't have its purpose too. They both, a lot of times, get to the same conclusion in a different process. Type 8 ENTP, again, epitome of Aries, but can also fit Sag and Leo for the same reasons. The ETPs, hello people, this is fire. ENTJ, last one. ENTJ 1, ones do not fit any other fire sign than Sag. Sag is really interesting because Sag represents 7 on one hand, and 1, the high-minded idealism of type 1 can also be Sag. So again, shooting for the stars, the human aspect, the idealism, and the horse's ass. You cannot rein me in. This is in one person you get this existence. And sometimes in the very same day, they're this way. Whereas with Gemini, it's almost like, which one am I? This one could be both of them at the same time, all the time, And a lot of times at different times in their life, depending on maturity or focus. Anyway, ENTJ 1, as far as fire goes, only the Sag, because Leo and Aries will not fit type 1 ever, if it's true to type. ESTJ, again, an anomaly for type 2. Type 2s, 95% of them are feelers. I might have said that before. It's not going to fit. But the two ENTJ 2s I have out of about 160 ENTJs, that would be Leo. Again, if we're talking about type 2, it's not going to be anything other than Leo. Okay? Type 1, nothing other than Sag. Type 2, nothing other than Leo, as far as the fire signs for these particular Myers-Briggs types go. Type 3, here we go, Leo. Epitome. Leo is the epitome of type 3. I must achieve. I must get results. I must have your attention. I must be admired. This is the sunny disposition. These are your CEOs, people. These are your public speakers. These are your powerful personalities. But you know what? They know how to schmooze you. Whereas the type 8 is that powerful bulldozer that is one way. I'm going to rip that mask off of hypocrisy. Type 3 will schmooze you. They'll win the game another way. They can put on a different mask and, blend in when necessary. They'll win you over with that charisma. 8 have charisma too, but it's the cult of personality power that's 8, okay? Anyway, we're going into type 3 Leo. Also, yeah, of course it can fit Aries and Sag. But again, the epitome would be Leo. This is the organizer. This is the big company man. This is a lion. Getting the lion's share, okay? ENTJs, out of all 16 types, fun fact, out of all 16 types, there are more ENTJs that are in the top 1% financially than any other type. Okay, I'm not saying they're sociopaths. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I said that. Anyway, ENTJ, this is a very powerful personality. Okay, ENTJ 3, Game of Thrones, Cersei. Oh my God, did she have that stuff down? Did she have a strategy? A lot of people love her because of her brilliance and her willingness to go there where no one else would, because she didn't have the loyalties to anybody at the end of the day. Her children died. She was scorned. ENTJ 3. Anyway, ENTJs are not 4 again. 4s are feelers. ENTJ 5s, no, because extroverts are not type 5 generally. ENTJ type 6, only 2 of them, not very common. What would I say for that? Actually, fire, again, only 1. Aries. Aries can be the counterphobic. I told you why before. ENTJ type 7, proverbial Leo. Why is this? People, you need to know why. Because it can be the 7 energy does fit for Aries and Sag, but Leo tends to be more structured than the other two in general. They tend, if they could be more organized. Leo fits every extroverted sign because it's ruled by the sun. Sun is extroverted energy. Moving on to type 8. This is what we think of with ENTJ. It's the type that cannot not lead. That is type 8, ENTJ. That is the powerful personality that will not move for anyone if they're in gear. Okay? This, again, Leo. We're talking about J. ENTJ is going to fit mostly Leo than the other two, although 8 is very much Aries as well. The J basically would say Leo. So ENTJ, definitely fire, but in general, this is your Leo. The ENTP and ESTP, that's going to fit more the Aries and the Sag. These are your fire signs, people. They're very dynamic. Because the sun is so loud, that rules Leo, and those personalities are so powerful, they're going to imbue themselves throughout the different, not just signs, but they're going to imbue themselves, with the MBTI types. People, I am so glad to impart this to you. Thank you for being here with me. I know it was a lot of information. Thank you so much. Next time, we're going to go into air, and it won't be so long-winded. No pun intended. Just realize that. Anyway, thanks for staying with me when it comes to the breakdown of the Myers-Briggs as well. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Till next time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves as much as possible. Try to get out there in the water. It's freaking hot. I know a lot of places are shut down. I go to Huntington Beach. I don't know where everybody lives. Look, there's some places to still go. Enjoy the sun in any way possible. Get outside. Take a walk. All right? Go lay out. You need to get some energy. Take care, guys. Have a great one.